Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to do one last summer makeup look on my channel before it's officially fall. I am so excited about fall. I don't know about you guys. I just love how chilly it gets. I love the leaves changing. I love all of the decor and just the overall feel of fall, as I'm sure a lot of you do as well. I wanted to do something super bronzy, very glowy, and just pretty much what I've been wearing all summer long. So before I get into it, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It would really help me out a lot. And also give this video a like if you do enjoy this video, and let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with my skin first today, which I don't normally do. I usually just start off with my eyes first in case I have any fallout, but I don't think I'm gonna have any fallout today, so I'm just gonna do my skin first. I kind of just wanna switch it up a little bit, but I'm gonna take my E.L.F. Natural Glow Lotion, and this is in the gold shade. They do have a pink one as well, but unfortunately, I think they're discontinuing the gold shade at least, which kind of sucks because I did start getting into this recently. I don't know what took me so long, but I have had this in my collection for a while now, and I just started using it consistently. But what I really like about this one is that even though it does have a gold sheen to it, there isn't any shimmer, at least not from what I can tell. I did try their Luminous Putty Primer, but that one, although I did like it at first, I realized that there's a ton of gold shimmer in there, which is not very flattering on my skin since I do have a lot of texture and really large pores. So I just didn't like the way it looked on my skin. But this one, like I said, has more of a sheen to it, and it's really nice and hydrating as well. It's super light. I wish they wouldn't discontinue this. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing two that I've really been enjoying lately. I'm going to take my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation in the shade Medium 80W, and I'm going to mix this with the Uoma Beauty Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation in the shade Honey Honey T1W, which is a little too deep for me. I do have a bit more of a tan going on, and even then this is like a shade too deep on its own, so I'm gonna mix it with the Colourpop one just to balance it out. And this one is a little bit too light on me right now. Sometimes if I'm not careful with the ratio of foundations, it can look a little bit off, so I'm gonna really try to get my perfect shade. My face is like a couple of shades lighter than my neck, so it's always a challenge to get it to match my neck. So I'm gonna take one pump of the Uoma Beauty one, and then about half a pump of my Colourpop Pretty Fresh one. Oh, that's a little bit dark for me still, so I'm gonna mix in a little bit more of the Colourpop one. So I'm just blending it directly in with my sponge. I did start using a retinol serum recently, so I have a little more texture than usual and just some flakiness going on. I find that the sponge really smooths the foundation onto my skin. I really like both of these foundations on their own, but I just haven't been able to find my perfect shade in each of them. So I've just been mixing both of these, and I really love the finish that they give. So I haven't done this in a while, but I kind of want to correct a little bit underneath my eyes since I haven't been getting enough sleep lately. So I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Medium Peach, and this, like the name says, is a medium peach shade. It's not super full coverage, but it does enough to color correct. So I'm just gonna add a little bit onto my dark circles, and actually I'm gonna add a little bit right here, and then just blending it with my sponge. I'm gonna go over top of that with my NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer in the shade Soft Beige. This is a little bit too light on me right now, but I can get it to work. The only thing I don't like about this concealer is the applicator, because it is a sponge, which I don't like. I just feel like I waste product. And then again, just taking my Real Technique sponge, I'm gonna add a little bit more And I'm actually gonna add some to my lids as well, just to prime for eyeshadow. I had to stop using my E.L.F. Putty Eye Primer, which I did used to really like, but it kind of dried out already, which is disappointing. And I just can't get it to work anymore. The formula was pretty dry to begin with. So now that I've had it open for a few months, it did dry out more. I'm gonna take my Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Macchiato, which unfortunately I already broke like a couple months ago. It still works, but the cover on the cap came off. But I just love this cream bronzer. I do still really like my Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer, but I did use it the other day, and compared to this one, I think I like this one a little bit more. That one definitely dries down to a matte finish, and this one is more of a natural, almost dewy finish, but it does last a really long time on my skin, especially when I go over it with powder and a glowier bronzer at the end. So I just pat it on first. And this bronzer just blends out so easily. I feel like I barely have to blend it. And it is sheer, but it just looks so pretty on the skin. So how has everyone's summer been? I feel like it's been a little crazy, of course, because of COVID. For me, this summer and just pretty much the entire year so far has been really stressful, just with certain events that happened this year. I feel like a lot happened this year actually, and oh my goodness, I feel like I barely made it through. I feel so lucky that my husband is so supportive and just so patient, so understanding. Whenever I need to vent, he's just always there for me, and he never makes me feel like I'm going on and on and on, even though sometimes I feel like I am going on and on because I just get in my own head, and once I start obsessing or worrying about something, I just feel like I can't stop, and it just completely consumes me at times. So life is really unpredictable, and it's really nice to have people that are supportive and understanding in your life. I'm gonna set my face with the Beauty Bakerie Flower Setting Powder, and I have mine in the shade Oat Translucent. This is such a good setting powder. It's a really lightweight, but it really does lock everything into place. I don't feel like it dries out my skin or anything. I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of powder. I don't want to overdo it since I do have more flakiness and texture going on. So I'm gonna take my E.L.F. small tapered brush, and I'm gonna set underneath my eyes and a little bit wherever I applied cream bronzer, just so that it lasts. I feel like the sides of my nose are looking a little bit cakey. It's probably the retinol, but everything else looks really nice and smooth. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like quite a bit of glow coming through the foundation, which I love. A lit from within type of glow. That's why I love this primer, and I really hope that they're not discontinuing it because I am getting really into it. So I went ahead and did my brows off camera just to save some time, but I will leave everything that I used in the description box below. But moving on to eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Colourpop California Love eyeshadow palette. And this one I've been using a lot recently. I can't believe it took me so long to finally purchase it because it's one of my favorite Colourpop palettes now. I love the warm tones in here. I feel like it's the perfect summer transitioning into fall palette because it does have a lot of bronzy tones and those mustardy kind of shades. I just love this freaking palette. All the mattes blend super easily. They're very pigmented, and all of the metallics and shimmers are very intense as well. I haven't had any issues with any of the shades in here. This is definitely one of my favorite Colourpop palettes at the moment, or just that I've tried in general. So I'm gonna do a very simple eye look today. I don't wanna do anything too complicated. So I'm first gonna dip into the shade, the Beige. By the way, I did apply a little bit of translucent powder to my brow bone and a little bit onto the crease. So I'm just gonna blend that into the crease. This palette actually reminds me of the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, which I haven't tried, but based on pictures that I've seen of the bronze palette, this one looks so similar. I really wanted that palette when it was first released, but I couldn't afford it, so I got this one instead. And honestly, I don't regret not getting the bronze palette. I might get it in the future, but I feel like this one is similar enough to where I don't feel the need to get that palette. I'm not saying this is a dupe because I haven't tried the Natasha Denona one, but just from pictures, I feel like there are some similar shades in here. And like I said, everything in here blends super easily. So yeah, I really love this palette, and even just the packaging I think is super pretty. And then taking a smaller brush, I'm gonna take the Jaclyn Hill JH33 brush, and I'm gonna dip into the shade Laguna, and I'm gonna apply that into the crease as well. And then just blending again with that E.L.F. Fluffy blending brush. I'm gonna take the shade Surf Rider. This is such a unique shade. I don't have anything like this in my collection. It is like a brown satiny shade with a gold sheen to it. I guess it's a metallic shade, but it doesn't look as intense as some of the other metallics in the palette. So I'm gonna take that on my finger and I'm just gonna tap it right onto the lid. Let's see how it looks gold, but it does have like a brown base to it. And then once I've built up that shade, I'm just taking my JH33 brush and blending around the edges. So I'm just gonna mix the Beige and Laguna, and I'm gonna apply those onto my lower lash line with a pencil brush. And then taking that same pencil brush, I'm gonna take the shade Mission, and I'm gonna take this onto my upper lash line. Actually, I'm gonna take a smaller brush just to be a little bit more precise. And I'm focusing it right on the outer corners. I'm gonna take a tiny bit more of the shade The Beige, and I'm gonna reapply that into the crease, just because, I don't know why, but I feel like I need a little bit more of that. I think that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna add mascara off camera since I do have to get super close to my mirror for that. But I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath Labs Fetisheyes mascara for my top lashes. And then for my bottom lashes, I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Mascara in the shade Black Brown. So I'm gonna do that off camera and I will be right back. I'm gonna take a little bit of the shade Cruisin' and I'm gonna apply that to my inner corners with this Morphe JH41 brush. I'm gonna take this Ofra Hot Cocoa bronzer and highlighter duo, and I'm gonna take the bronzer side and I'm gonna apply that right over top of the cream bronzer that I have, just to add a little bit more bronziness to the face. This might be a little too much glow for a makeup look, but I kind of want to take this Essence, the blush in the shade 20 Bespoke. This is such a pretty nude bronzy blush shade. It does have a sheen to it. It is very glowy, but I kind of want to use it today. I actually don't hear that many people talk about this blush, but I just think it's so pretty and like natural but still glowy. It's just such a beautiful blush, and it is from Essence, so it's very affordable as well. I'm pretty sure this is like $4.99 maybe. And then just to tone it down a little bit, I'm taking my E.L.F. small tapered brush and I'm just buffing right over it. Yeah, I am super glowy today. I'm not mad about it actually. I feel like I needed this. This is like therapy for me, just doing my makeup. All these little baby hairs though. I'm gonna take some of this Rodeo Drive highlighter from the bronzer highlighter duo, and I'm gonna apply that right over top of the inner corner highlight that I have, just to tone down some of the gold. Yeah, that lightened it up real nice. I'm gonna go ahead and mist my face with the Milani Fruit Fetish Make It Last setting spray, and this is in the Kiwi Watermelon scent, which smells so good. I don't know what this reminds me of, but I feel like I've smelled this before. I just can't put my finger on it. So if you've tried this setting spray in this scent, let me know if this reminds you of something, because I can't figure it out and it's kind of like bugging me a little bit. So I'm gonna mist my face with this and then apply highlighter. Oh, that just smells so freaking good, but I wish I could figure out what that smells like. I also have the Milani Fruit Fetish Lip Balm in the same scent, but I feel like this smells different. This to me smells more like Jolly Ranchers, whereas the setting spray, even though it is the same scent, smells more, again, I don't know what it reminds me of, but I think I like the scent of the setting spray a little bit more than this one. Really quickly, I'm going to tightline with the Milani Stay Put eyeliner in the shade Semi Sweet, which is a dark brown eyeliner shade. And now I'm going to highlight with the Rodeo Drive highlighter from the highlighter bronzer duo. I just love the shade of this highlighter. It is gold, but it has a little bit of a champagne undertone to it, so it's not like a straight up gold. Okay, finally for the lips, I think I'm gonna keep it really simple, and I'm just gonna take my Revlon Super Lustrous Shine Lipstick. It's kind of like a lip gloss, lip balm, and lipstick all in one. I do have a couple other shades in this, but I think this is my favorite one because it is a brownie nude glossy shade. So I'm just gonna apply that onto my lips. Alright, so that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this end of summer makeup look. I am so excited for fall. I know I already said that in the intro to this video, but I'm really looking forward to it. If you are looking forward to the fall, let me know what it is that you like the most about the fall season. But other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye!